You ever open your banking app, stare at the number, and just sigh? Like you did everything right. You skipped eating out. You said no to random online sales. You transferred money into savings every month. And still, it feels like nothing is really changing. The number creeps up slowly, and life keeps throwing bills at you like it's a sport. Rent goes up, groceries go up, electricity goes up, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, when does this get easier? When does money stop feeling like something I have to chase and start working on its own? Because you've probably heard people say things like, make your money work for you. Sounds nice, sounds smart, also sounds very vague. Like, how much money do you actually need before that even becomes real? Is it $10,000? Is it $100,000? Is it some secret millionaire number nobody tells you about? Honestly, I've spent way too much time thinking about money, how people build it, how people lose it, and why some people hit this strange moment where things suddenly start speeding up while others feel like they're pushing a rock uphill forever. And the weird part is, the shift does happen. There really is a point where money starts to behave differently. Not magically, not overnight, but noticeably. And today, we're going to talk about the exact range where that shift usually begins. Not influencer fantasy numbers, not lottery thinking, real, math-based human life numbers. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it changes how you save, how you invest, and honestly, how you think about your future. So, let's talk about when money finally starts making money. Most people imagine money making money like this huge moment, like one day you wake up and suddenly your investments are paying your bills while you sip coffee and stare at mountains. That's not how it usually happens. The real version is way quieter. It's more like one year you contribute $5,000. Next year, your account grows by $5,500, and you realize, wait, I didn't put all of that in. That extra $500, that's money working. Here's the simple breakdown. If you invest money, it can grow through interest, dividends, market growth, business income, rental income. At first, your contributions are doing almost all the work, but eventually, growth starts catching up. And then something interesting happens. Growth becomes bigger than what you add. That is the real turning point. Why this matters? Because most people quit before this stage. They think investing doesn't work because early growth feels tiny. But early growth is supposed to feel tiny. That's normal. Actionable takeaway. In the early years, focus more on consistency than returns. Your job early on is feeding the system, not judging it. And honestly, yeah, it can feel boring, like watching paint dry, but boring money is usually strong money. Okay, let's get into numbers. The first time many people notice money doing something on its own is between $25,000 and $50,000 invested. Not life-changing, but noticeable. Example, if you have $50,000 invested, average annual return 7%. That's about $3,500 growth per year. That's roughly $291 per month, about $10 per day. Now think about that. You're sleeping, money is technically still moving. Story example. Imagine two people. Person A saves $500 per month. Person B invests $500 per month. At first, difference looks tiny, but after years, person B starts seeing yearly growth that equals months of contributions. Why it matters? This is where motivation often spikes. You start believing the system actually works. Actionable advice. If you're under this range, your main goal is reaching it as fast as safely possible. That usually means increase income if possible, control lifestyle inflation, invest consistently. Personal reflection. Honestly, this feels like pushing a car that won't start, but once it moves, it moves. Something weird happens around this stage. You stop thinking like a spender. You start thinking like an owner. You start asking different questions. What's my money doing? Is this asset growing? Is this purchase slowing my future? It's subtle, but powerful. Metaphor. It's like planting trees. At first, you see dirt, then small leaves. Years later, shade. Most people quit during the dirt phase. Why it matters? Because wealth is partly math, partly behavior, and behavior often changes once you see proof. Actionable takeaway. Track growth separately from contributions. Watching that number grow builds confidence. Light humor moment. Also, yes, you might become the annoying friend who talks about index funds. It happens. Okay, now we're entering serious territory. Around $100,000 invested, money often starts growing at levels that feel real. Example, $100,000 at 7%, about $7,000 yearly growth. That's $583 monthly, close to a small rent payment in some places. Now imagine still contributing on top of that. This is where compound growth gets loud. Story example. Let's say you invest $1,000 monthly and have $100,000 invested. In 1 year, you add $12,000. Growth might add $7,000. You're getting close to growth matching contributions. Why it matters? Momentum. This is where people suddenly look lucky from the outside. Actionable advice. Once here, protect consistency, avoid panic selling, avoid chasing hype investments. Personal aside, this is usually when people wish they started earlier. Almost everyone has that moment. Okay, here's the range many financial pros quietly agree on. Between $250,000 and $500,000 invested, money really starts behaving differently. Let's break it down. At $250,000, 7% equals $17,500 yearly. At $500,000, 7% equals $35,000 yearly. Now pause for a second. That can equal a full salary in some areas, half a salary in expensive cities. This is where growth alone can change lifestyle options. Why it matters? You gain flexibility, not always luxury, but options. Actionable takeaway. At this level, focus on asset protection, diversify investments, control emotional decisions. Personal reflection? Honestly, this is where money stops feeling fragile, not infinite, but stable. 3 main reasons people fail. 1. They stop investing during market drops. 2. They increase lifestyle every time income rises. 3. They expect fast results and quit early. Simple truth. Compound growth rewards patience more than intelligence. Story example. 2 investors. One starts early, invests average amounts. One starts late and invests double until retirement. The early investor often wins. Why? Because early money has more time to grow on top of growth. Metaphor. It's like rolling a snowball downhill. Early distance matters more than pushing harder later. Why it matters? Starting small is infinitely better than waiting for perfect conditions. Actionable takeaway. Automate investing if possible. Remove daily emotion from long-term strategy. Okay, let's look at the timing. Let's say person A invests from age 25 to 35, then stops. Person B starts at 35 and invests double until retirement. Person A often still ends ahead. Why? Because early money has more time to grow on top of growth. Metaphor. It's like rolling a snowball downhill. Early distance matters more than pushing harder later. Why it matters? Starting small is infinitely better than waiting for perfect conditions. Actionable takeaway. Start before you feel ready. Imperfect start beats the perfect wait. The weird 100K plateau. Around 100K to 300K, people sometimes take huge risks, chase fast gains, try to speed up the process. Ironically, this is where many lose progress. Why it matters? Protecting capital becomes more important than chasing huge returns. Personal note, honestly, boring investing is underrated. So, at what point does money start making money? Technically, from day one, but realistically, emotionally, noticeably, around 25K to 50K, you start noticing growth. 100K, momentum feels real. 250K to 500K, money truly starts working at scale. And here's the thing nobody says enough. It's not about hitting some magical millionaire number. It's about reaching the stage where growth helps carry the load, where you're not alone in building your future, where your past discipline starts showing up to help your present self. Because money isn't really about numbers on a screen. It's about stress reduction, options, freedom to breathe, freedom to choose. And honestly, most people are closer than they think, not because it's easy, but because consistency beats intensity in money almost every time. If you keep showing up, if you keep investing, if you let time do its thing, there is a point where things shift. Quietly, slowly, then all at once. And maybe the real goal isn't getting rich fast. Maybe it's reaching the point where your money finally stops needing you every second and starts standing beside you instead. Not replacing effort, not solving everything, just helping. And honestly, that's already life-changing.